I have band practice. I'm actually a member of a wind ensemble here in my state, and I have rehearsal. And like many instrumental groups that are meeting nowadays in the times of COVID, I need to wear a face mask on my face when I play, and I need to have a mask actually on my instrument. They're actually pretty silly looking. So if you look for instrumentalist masks, you're going to get a good old hoot. But nonetheless, this portion of my face is going to be covered tonight, completely covered. And I know that many of you, whether you're teaching or you work in the healthcare field or whatever, you may be having to wear a mask your entire workday too. And you may be sitting there saying, yeah, I want to wear some makeup, but half of my face is covered. Do I really need to put makeup on all of it? And I want to help answer that question. So let's get a little bit of some setting spray sandwich going on, and I'm going to explain to you why I am doing a half face of makeup, and who may also want to do this too. Hey Rachel, let me know, when do you need to wear masks right now? I know that different countries have different situations going on, different jobs have different situations going on, different states, I mean, you name it, we're just all in different places, right? So where I am right now in Rhode Island, masks are not mandatory everywhere. They generally are when you're in medical buildings. And as I said, since I'm a performer, I need to wear a mask as I perform. Now, I play the saxophone. So the saxophone, of course, uses my mouth. I'm blowing out air and spit and all sorts of things. So I have to wear a really interesting mask. Pretty much all of the musician masks look like some form of underwear. I'll just be honest with you. It's rather foolish. If you think of the fly in the shape of men's underwear or some risque underwear that ladies may be wearing from time to time, basically, just think of having a face mask, but it needs to have some kind of opening. So some of the openings are more like flaps, some are zippers, some go this way, some go that way. They're all hysterical things. So the way that my mask is situated is I have a horizontal slit, then I have a flap that goes over. So when I want to play my saxophone, I have to lift the flap and put the saxophone in, and the flap goes over my saxophone. So it's hysterical. But nonetheless, I have a giant mask on my face tonight. But I do want to have some makeup for up here. I'm just going to be wearing a Harry Potter t-shirt. I'm going super duper casual tonight, but I do want to jazz things up a little bit with some makeup. Rachel says, I died laughing watching your moody. Thank you for watching that, Rachel. Thank you. For those of you who are not Potterverse fans, our Harry Potter podcast, you're missing out, as I always do a segment called Different Perspective, where I take the perspective of a character, not Harry Potter, from a scene, and I act things out. It's a very improv, fun thing. So last night I was Mad Eye Moody, and I took my headphone and put it over one of my eyes. All right, so here's the scoop. I put setting spray on, and then I just put some Glorious face primer. I put the Glorious face primer all over my face, as that is going to be good for my face no matter what. But I am only putting makeup on this portion of my face. While the face primer is sitting in, I am going to go in and do a little bit of concealer. So I'm going to give you a couple of concealer tips and tricks. Concealer, this light, like 1, 2, even 3 shades lighter than your skin tone, is great for like the super duper highlight look that a lot of like youngins do. I'm not here for that, right? So, but I do like the brightness in this inner corner. And if I'm wearing foundation and that foundation is going to be blending things out, I can wear a much lighter concealer. If I'm only wearing concealer, if I was going to be super minimal right now and I just wanted to throw a little concealer on, maybe a little mascara, I would actually wear the same concealer as my skin type. Okay, but because I want to brighten and because I am going to be putting on some foundation, I am using a lighter shade and just using a damp blending bud to help blend that out a little bit. So I put it where I have the most discoloration, in that inner corner. I don't have to put it all over the place. You're going to see a lot of older concealer versions, more like in the earlier, I don't even know, like, how do we refer to things right now? So not in the 2020s. In the 2020s, the way to do it, I even put way too much on, but it's because I use my blending bud. I find my blending bud kind of helps pick up some of it. Really, the 2021 concealer, it's about here and then a little bit here for some lift. It's not that whole huge triangle that you're used to seeing. You do want to go very, very light with your concealer amount, because concealer packs a punch. It's pretty thick. My concealer does have skincare built inside of it, but it doesn't mean you gob it on. It doesn't mean you put it all over the place. So there we go. I just take whatever is left on that blending bud, and just kind of press that sucker out. As you can see, I didn't put a lot of concealer here. That's where I smile. Smiling's my favorite. I don't need the concealer there. That's not where the discoloration is. It's really more on my eyelids in this inner corner. And using a blending bud that is damp makes a huge, huge difference pressing it into my skin. So now that I've let the primer sit on my skin, I'm going to go back over with some setting spray. Setting spray sandwich, it's one of my favorite things. If you're someone who has to wear a mask, if you touch your face a lot, if you've got really oily skin, if you're someone who really needs to make sure that it is hardcore staying on, a setting spray sandwich where you put setting spray on, primer, let the primer dry a little bit, then setting spray again. I don't know why, but it's magic. It really makes a difference. And if you do have like pores and textures and things like that, putting setting spray on, then using just that damp blending bud to push that setting spray into that product and blend it into your skin works like a charm. All right, so let's go and put a little foundation on just half of my face. I'm going to look slightly ridiculous. I don't care. You wanna know why? Because I'm not gonna waste makeup and put it on part of my face that nobody is going to see, right? I also don't want to like get makeup inside my mask. Now I'm using my new Serum Infused liquid foundation. So I'm just going to apply it on the top portion of my face, and this is going to be absolutely hysterical, but I wanted to come on because I'm like, how many of us really don't show the bottoms of our faces, you know? So if that's you, if you 100% are not going to be showing the bottom of your face, don't waste your time, don't waste your makeup, don't waste your money, just do half of it. Let's be real. I mean, if I'm pulled over, if I like get into a car accident or something and I have to take off my mask and they see what's below, that's going to be a situation, but at that point, I just don't care, all right? I just don't care. Right now, I just want to get the top half of my face on, and we are good to go. So I just put a little bit, like a drop of that liquid foundation on. It is medium coverage. It can be buildable. It just kind of evened out that skin tone. You don't even really see my pimple that I still have because I'm pretty sure my mask comes up to here. Now I will say that this new liquid foundation, it's got 12-hour wear and it has very, very minimal transfer. So if you are someone who wants to put makeup on your entire face and still has to wear a mask, you do not have to worry. My favorite application method is honestly just a damp blending bud. You just can't go wrong with it. There we go. So you can see a couple of my freckles are still shining through. I'm not here to worry about full coverage. I can definitely build up to that, or I could have chosen a different foundation. I just wanted that more medium coverage, but you can see this is the part that's going to be covered. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of contouring to kind of warm things up, taking my stick foundation in Georgette. This is the darkest cool color, cool toned. And I don't even think, let's see, because it'll go down here. I don't even think I need to do that. Isn't that crazy? And I'll just contour a little bit right there. Doing half my face. Half my face. Mask life, right? It's funny because, so being someone that I work from home, I started working from home as a mom, just so I could really be home and stay with my kids, and has been such a blessing to be able to do that because these past couple of years have thrown a lot of surprises at us, and having the flexibility of being home has been great, but it also means that I don't necessarily have coworkers that I need to see face to face and get dressed up for and feel presentable for. So when I get to have these experiences out of my house where I do get to interact with others, I just want to have a little something on. I want to look a little fancy, even in my Harry Potter shirt. I am going to take a kabuki brush right here and kind of blend that line out. I will say the stick foundation with the blending bud, not strong enough. The stick foundation does need a kabuki brush to really kind of blend it. I just don't like to have any harsh lines. So what I did with that, I have a rather large forehead, and if you take a little bit of that darker shade around the edge of your hairline, it's going to make it look like your head is starting to angle back already. It's going to make your forehead look a little smaller. You can also use this contouring technique underneath your cheekbones to make your face look a little slimmer, underneath your chin bone to get rid of that double chin, even along the sides of your nose to make your nose look slimmer. But nobody's going to see this portion of my face, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just not. I don't worry. Easy, easy. I will add a little bit of blush because some of that may be showing. So I'm going to walk into the building wearing my regular face mask. I keep my musician face mask. I probably should wash it now. I cheated because I wear it for so little that I'm like, I'm not going to wash this every single time, but I think that kind of defeats the purpose, I guess. So I will have to wash that one every single time. I was just going to like keep it on my saxophone, but then I'm just keeping the germs on it. Shame on me, Mary. Shame on me. I wash my kids' masks. Actually, one of my children, I don't know what that child does, but that child gets a really gross mask every single day. So I have just decided to be not the best steward for the environment, but I've gotten kids disposable masks for that one kid because it's just not. I can't keep up with it. It's so gross. I get them at the end of the day. I'm like, this is disgusting. I am going to take a little bit of translucent setting powder and set this foundation. So if you are going to be walking around needing to put a mask on and off, you do need to set your makeup in some way, shape, or form. I honestly, even without a mask, I believe in setting foundation. It just keeps it in place. I find that setting powders help blur the fine lines, help blur the pores and everything a little bit more too. Right, so it's silly, but like this part of my face is less blotchy. I have less of my age spots showing through. It helps me feel a little bit more awake and alive. You almost can't tell, and that's kind of the look I'm going for. I brightened underneath my eyes so I don't look as exhausted as I feel at the very moment. And I'm just going to comb through these eyebrows. When I do a more basic makeup look, I do not necessarily need to add product to my eyebrows. I have very, very thick eyebrows as it is, so I don't have to worry about that as much. I do want to put on a little bit of eyeshadow though. I think I'm going to go in with this one. This one's one of my favorite autumn shades. It's called Ornate. It's a nice metallic kind of coppery gold. I don't know, it just screams fall to me. And I just kind of paint it on that lower lid. So I'm really excited to go play tonight. I am going to have to take some time off from playing. I'm going to have some surgery, sadly, in October, which I'm super bummed about. But I'd rather have surgery than have something stay that's not supposed to be there. So my mom had breast cancer when I was growing up at essentially a year older than what I am now. She had it very, very young. So since I was 30, I've had to be having annual mammograms or ultrasounds. Depending upon if I was pregnant or something like that, they would do ultrasounds instead of a mammogram. So we've just been on top of things, and I sadly have found a lump on my chest. This year has just thrown me for a couple of loops, my friends. So I found a lump on my chest. It is a bit higher, and I have had mammograms done and ultrasounds done, and they do not believe that it's cancerous. But because of my family history and because of where it's located and everything, we are scheduling to have it removed. So that will be happening middle of October. I'm a little nervous. I do need to go fully under fort. There's going to be like a team of 6 people because it is a little large and they just want to be careful and everything. But because of that, I will be taking a break from playing. So I just got back to playing my saxophone, just got back to playing with my group, and sadly I'm going to have to take a mini little break. But I don't want to necessarily be in a group of musicians playing with our saxophones and playing with our trumpets and everything if my immune system's going to be a little low, which after having surgery, I just figure that my body's really going to be focusing on healing that part of my body. So and additionally, my saxophone strap will be in the area where my scar is going to be, so I need to heal that area very, very well before I play. So I'm probably going to miss our first concert. And I don't know how long I'm going to have to take off from the band, but I'm going to play in it as long as I can. You sure have one tumultuous year. I know, I'm ready. I am ready, Rachel, to be done with this year. This year has been very rough on me. Health-wise and like heart-wise, in my heart. It's been a doozy. So it's funny because, I felt like, oh, I'm so over 2020. And of course, I was like, 2021 is going to be great. And then it threw me for a loop. But on the flip side, I will tell you this. I'm just trying to keep things in perspective. Like, I'm still here. The doctors, the team, all is pretty optimistic. They're like, we really don't think it's going to be cancer, so that's good. It is something that we can get rid of and take care of. I think that had I found this mass earlier in the pandemic, I might not have been able to get it taken out as quickly as I can right now, when they like closed all those elective surgeries and stuff. So I don't know. I'm trying to see the silver linings where I can. That's what you got to do, right? Now, trust me, I have my moments. I have my moments where I break down and cry. Today was actually one of those moments. I had a big heart to heart with Blake where, I don't know what's happening with our journey of expanding our family. Having two miscarriages in a year, it's a lot. It's a lot physically on me, and it's a lot emotionally on us as a couple and as a family. So that chapter and that exploration and kind of that hope in our lives, we may need to say farewell to. So, starting to have these tough conversations that you just don't want to have. Nobody wants to have these kind of talks, right? But on the flip side, I can tell you that I definitely scored the lottery when I got my husband. Um, that whole stick together through good times and bad. That's definitely that is life, man. Life's tough. Life is really, really tough sometimes. So I'm just very blessed and thankful that I've got Blake by my side, and don't have the mascara that I was thinking I was going to use. So I am going to use this one right here. But it's a lot. It's a lot sometimes. So thank you. Thank you for your kindness. It's been a year, but that's why I'm thankful that what I do for work, podcasting about topics that I love, doing this makeup business, helping others feel more confident with their makeup, I'm happy that that can bring joy, that can lift my spirits up, on days like today where you kind of sit there and you're like, oh man, I'm a little down in the dumps. You think about the things that you can't control. I can't control the fact that I need to go have breast surgery. I can't control that. I can't control the fact that we had these losses this year, but I can control how I respond to them, and I can control my makeup. So I put a little bit of makeup on because it makes me feel really pretty and pulled together, even if it's just half of my face, right? Oh, thank you, Rachel. She said, you are both such a dynamic duo, and I so admire both of you. That is really, really kind. So thank you, friend. So this is my half face makeup look. It's super easy. I just put foundation and concealer up on this portion. I added some coloring with some blush. I added a little contouring to make my forehead not look as big. I did play up the eyes, as that is the portion that I'll be able to showcase behind my mask as I play my saxophone tonight. I just often wear just like a little chapstick on my lips, so nothing with even color there. But this allows me to feel polished, a little pulled together, a little bit more like me, even though most of my face is hidden. So if you are in a situation where you don't need to show your whole face the entire time, don't waste your makeup. You know what I mean? Don't worry about all that. Just focus on up here, add a little bit more attention to those eyes, make sure you got some dynamite mascara on or some lashes, and you'll be good to go. You'll be good to go. I know for me, it makes me feel better. Even if I'm wearing a Harry Potter t-shirt, it makes me feel a lot better. So Amy says, glad you got scheduled for a procedure. Agreed, 2020 sucked, but 2021 can be just done. I lost my mom a couple weeks ago. I'm so sorry, Amy. And it's just so hard to move past. I know. But we've got each other, we've had each other, and it almost like puts things a little bit in more perspective, because we've seen how frail life can be and how hard some of these hardships have been, that it just kind of makes you appreciate what you do have a little bit more. So I appreciate you. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, everybody, have a great night, and I will talk with you soon.